3, we have left Cloten vowing vengeance on Posthumus and Imogen, who he thinks will be meeting up at Milford Haven. He's persuaded Bassanio to give him the letter that's taken Imogen down to Milford Haven, and Bassanio has given it to him because he thinks Milford Haven is so far away, Cloten will never find it. So that's the end of that last act. And at the beginning of this act, we see Cloten arriving in somewhere around Milford Haven, vowing vengeance and saying, I'm hunting for those runaways, I'm just going to go and catch them, and when I catch them I'm going to rape Imogen, kill Posthumus, and then I could beat her and take her back to Britain. What a beast. So that's the first scene of that act. The second scene is where she, in fact, now Imogen, dressed as Fidelia the boy, is in the cave of Belarius, Arviragus and Guiderius, and they all come out having spent the night in the cave, and the boys are about to go hunting. Imogen's not feeling so good. She's feeling a bit weak, for whatever reason. So she says she won't go hunting, and actually she has a little dram of the special medicine that Bassanio has given to her, saying that it's a magical cure-all. He had it from the Queen and it'll be magic. And if you don't feel well, take this medicine. So she takes a slug of it and retires to the cave, and the boys say, poor boy, poor Fidelia, never mind, we'll go hunting, he'll get better soon, and they go off. And then Cloten arrives, but he arrives just before they leave, and he's shouting, I'm going to find these runaways. They think that actually he's talking about them, because Belarius recognises Cloten, the son of the Queen, from years back when he was at court. He says this is a really nasty piece of work. And Guiderius says, you leave it to me, I can sort him out. But you better go and see who else is around. Has he come with some soldiers? Is there an army about? So Belarius and Arviragus go off to look for whoever's around, and Guiderius challenges Cloten. They have a very shouting match of insults at each other and have a fight and go off stage fighting. And the next thing we see is Guiderius coming back with Cloten's head, which he's chopped off because he said he's just such a bastard and he would have killed me if I hadn't killed him. I didn't mean to do it, but no alternative. He'd have had mine off. Arviragus and Belarius have come back with some hunting rabbits or whatever, and but they think, well, we're going to wake Fidelia up to cook the supper, and you meanwhile had better go and get rid of this head. So he says, oh, all right, I'll take it off. I'll chuck it in the stream and it can go tell the Queen that it's her son. So they go into the cave and they find Fidelia apparently dead. And they're absolutely heartbroken, of course. And they bring out this poor little lifeless body and lay it on the ground. Belarius says, look, you guys, you've got to bury him properly, because they don't know it's really Imogen. They think it's Fidelia boy. So Guiderius is sent off to fetch Cloten's body because Belarius very honourably said he's a queen's son, he deserves the proper burial. While he's gone, Arviragus and Guiderius say this wonderful poem, which many of you will probably know, Fear no more the heat of the sun. It's often said at humanist funerals these days. So they say that. Cloten's body is brought back, they put some flowers on it, and they leave. And as soon as they've gone, the men have all gone, within minutes, Fidelia recovers and finds herself lying next door to this dead body. And she thinks it's Posthumus because Cloten has been wearing Posthumus's clothes. So she's heartbroken. And then the Romans arrive, so it's all go. And they say, look, we'll help you to bury this body. Who was it? She says it was a great man, a valiant Briton. And they say, well, look, he's dead, we'll bury it. Would you like, Lucius is on his way back from town to get back to Rome to pick up his army. Actually, his army has already just arrived at Milford Haven, so he will go and meet up with his soldiers, and he gets the soldiers that have come to meet him to bury Cloten's body, so they all go off. And that's the end of scene 2, which is action-packed scene. Scene 3, I'm going to have to look at my crib, because, we dodge back to Britain again, where it's a very short scene and everybody's very perplexed. Imogen has vanished, the Queen is ill of a fever, we don't know why, Cloten has vanished, Cymbeline has heard that the Romans have arrived, and everybody's in a stew, and out they rush to try and deal with their various things, leaving Bassanio saying, it's a bit perplexing, we'll just hope for the best. Fortune sometimes comes to people's aid. That's the end of scene 3. And back in scene 4, we find it again is a short scene because there's fighting already going on between the local Brits and the Romans who've just arrived. And Belarius, Arviragus and Guiderius are having a heated discussion about whether to join the fight or whether actually just Belarius said, let's get up to the mountains and get out of the way. And both the boys say, no, we've got to fight. We can't go on lurking. We need to fight. We've got to get on with it and be honourable and become known in the world of fighting. So they agree that that's what they'll do. Belarius says, if you're going to be killed in the battle, I'll be killed with you. That's it. And off they go.